Have you ever had a player at your table who was so convinced they were the hero, they basically became the villain? In this story, our paladin saves a town by forcing the villagers into his own militia, and if they refuse to fight, he just beats you unconscious and drags you along anyway. And this isn't coming out of nowhere. By this point, the paladin's already been stripped of his powers by a diva for slaughtering people he was supposed to subjugate, but he's decided they're wrong and he's still in the right. Party reach a terrified, half-ruined town where civilians keep disappearing at night, and the mayor makes it very clear these are farmers and shopkeepers, not fighters. The last part ended with the paladin calling them cowards and pushing a low-risk, high-reward plan to use the whole town as bait, while secretly cooking up something even worse. So here's where part 4 picks up, and how that plan turns into a forced militia. So the next session starts. Things are tense between DM and Paladin, and we played twice a week at the time, so the arguing was fresh. DM wanted Paladin to respect a fighter. Paladin was die-hard set on following his version of the Conquest Paladin oath. They'd argued privately over Discord, but it just seemed to deepen the divide. Night falls. We set up in a well-barricaded building, and sure enough, everyone is forced to sleep at midnight. Everyone but the elven druid. She tries to wake us immediately, and all it takes is a finger prick, then we're all up. Paladin starts waking villagers and asking why they never tried to defeat the sleep spell. I say, falling asleep above a tub of cold water, and it seems the town saw it as a blessing since they could avoid the terror of being hunted. Their response disgusted Paladin. Then the creature arrives, or so we guessed. Down below, a mighty crash was heard, and the doors of an adjacent building were cracked. A few seconds later, a window was shattered. Debris comes flying out of the window, and the barricade is cast aside. Something enters the building, and we hear a scream inside as someone's pulled towards the opening. We debate what to do, torn between waiting for more info and attacking now. Paladin and Druid decide to attack now, even without us, but before they can, the screams stop, and the person's hauled bodily out the window and into the dark sky above by seemingly nothing. Paladin and Druid are now in agreement that we should gather everyone in the town together in one place, in spite of the town being entirely against it out of fear of upsetting the creature. Ranger ultimately caves since it's what Druid wants, and they're a team within a team. I don't want to stand against everyone's decision, so we start going from building to building and forcing them to gather at the bar. Some resist. Paladin takes the weapons from the guard station and arms those that do, saying they have spirit, then beats them down if they fight. Some he even beats unconscious. Old folks state they refuse to leave their homes. Paladin and his new militia force them from their homes to the center. His stance was something like, "We're risking our lives, they should risk theirs. They'll have one bad night, then they'll have earned peace." If you're into TTRPG horror stories with a real monster might be on the character sheet, stick around. And if you're new here, hit subscribe so you don't miss the rest of this Paladin DM train wreck. It takes all day, but we find everyone, nearly 100 terrified townsfolk, only half of which are fit to wield weapons, and even less are trained to. We settle with them and wait until night. Midnight comes and tubs of ice water, and the druid with a sewing needle sees everyone awake. And then it comes. The lights get snuffed out by an unseen force, and after a series of crashes, a window shatters and whatever it is enters the room. Paladin covers a pile of debris with alcohol and lights it for vision. We look around for the creature, and then it attacks Paladin. He's hauled off the pile and thrown bodily through a wooden table by nothing, then pinned against a column, and we all roll initiative. Paladin gets pissed when our militia aren't on the initiative roll, and when he sees them cowering, he snarls that he'll kill anyone that doesn't use their weapon, and tells them to shoot at him before he starts getting strangled. A high intimidation roll, and we have a bunch of peasants that can't hit anything shooting bows in an enclosed space. Anyways, Ranger holds his action, I block the exit, and Druid tries to free Paladin. I'll skip the combat, but eventually we damage this thing with some spells and a few good blows from my greatsword, and it flees past me. It doesn't bleed, and from what we can tell, it's some kind of air elemental, but it can be hurt. The villagers are relieved. For the first time, no one was taken at night. Paladin, though, wants to push our luck. He decrees, "You've all done well, but this isn't over. The creature's wounded but not slain. It's time for phase 2. Everyone bearing a weapon, grab a torch and follow me. We're braving the howling dark." We are met with a chorus of disapproval. Paladin doesn't care and says he'll kill anyone who doesn't comply. Druid and Ranger say they'll help him. They justify it by saying they're lying, but Paladin isn't. And the villagers relent. Paladin leads us and a group of 50 terrified conscripts out into the night towards the bloody cornfields. So that's where we're stopping. A broken town, a shaken party, and a paladin who might be the worst hero they've ever followed. Comment below right now, do you think he deserves a shot at redemption or not? And if you're into this kind of TTRPG disaster, hit like and subscribe, because the final part is where everything finally catches up to him, and what he does next is going to change how you see him. See you in the finale.